What's up, WWE Champions Universe? It's Lee and Rusty from Champions Chat, and we are doing a power ratings showdown. Zombie Liv versus Zombie Becky. So, yeah, this is my pick for my favorite zombie female in the game. Even still, of course, I've barely played with Bayley, but still, Rusty, this is not a character that you have or have used much, right? Am I right
salt in the wound. Right out of the gate. Salt in the wound. I'm at 1,020 shards, friend. Thank you for reminding me.
Wow.
I know, that's it. She was hard to come by.
Hey, which one of the two of us have Zombie Bailey right now on our account? I'm just saying.
What's that?
I said, which one of the two of us have Zombie Bailey on our account?
I'm not. Yeah, no pity parties for me tonight. I did really well shard recruiting Bailey this month. I'm really happy. I'm playing in the Premium Showdown, and I'm going for the golds tonight.
Nice. Well, we are going to power rate Zombie Becky. She does have gear, and she does have a moment because we're on the test account. However, I am going to nerf her gear. I'm going to use her in a way that you do not need the gear at all, and she's still going to hit insane damage, so we don't even need it. Now, if you have it, you can hit much, much higher. However, I can't take the moment off, and it does help her in two small ways. Multiply gems generated from moves will increase their strength by 5. You say, wait a second, that's not small. She gets her multi-gems from a sub, and so it really just depends on what's left over, and it's still not going to be guaranteed that you hit all of the multi-gems. So while it is very helpful, that doesn't do as much all the time as you'd think. However, trap gems do 150% more damage. That does hit for her. So here's how we're going to run her. Triple black. The double barrel drop kick, 6 MP black. Deal damage, make 25 random gems into trap gems if broken by your opponent. Deal damage, and the portal's going to freeze. There it is. And increase your black gem damage by 30% for 2 turns. If broken by you, steal up to 180k health. The disarm her, 6 MP black submission, place 7 sub gems and do damage for 4 turns. While sub gems are on the board, remaining turn into multiply of strength 8 plus 5 for the moment. And then the belly to back suplex, deal damage, make 28 random gems black. On the entourage, you're going to need woods for 4 MP, plus the 1 is going to be 5. So now all you need is 1 more black MP somewhere. You can put Santa Hogan right here. You can put one of a few people right here. But of course, if you've got Tori, black gems do 40% more damage and start with 2 more MP. Boogeyman will give you 30% black gem damage, and then Zombie Liv will give you 30% black gem damage, or what I would often do, because there are the trap gems in the mix, you can use Steamboat, Acro Steamboat right here, for 100% more trap gem damage. It's just a matter of, this is going to buff most of the gems, because they're mostly all going to turn black. The trap gems are just going to buff whatever is left. So good, but either way. Then we've got the Ronda's Jacket, not a rare plate anymore. The Baddest Jacket, whenever you generate 3 or more sub gems, increase your yellow and black gem damage by 100%. And I like to use the Underdog Story. Whenever you break 4 or more black gems, generate 10 random red gems, just to get a little bit of extra damage out of her. There might be some other options in there, but that one is the most common. So, Rusty, that is how we're going to run her. Any thoughts before I start clicking buttons?
I yield to your expertise here, because I was looking at her unrecruited back of poster while you ran through all of that, trying to follow along. And because it's unrecruited on my roster, everything's at level 1. And I'm like, okay, that scales up really nicely.
Which one would you run with this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Nice. Well, oops, let's put that right there. So all you're going to do is you're going to throw down the trap gems, then you're going to put the sub. I usually put them all close towards the bottom, and you want her to break as many trap gems as possible. She did not, by the way, break very many trap gems this time around, so this will probably be one of the lower ends of Becky's hits. If they break, the more they break, the better off you're going to do. And yeah, that was only 50 million this time around. So I'm going to run it back because I promise she hits harder than that. But that was a great example of what happens when they don't get all your stuff, when they don't clear it. So right now, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to add this gameplay style. It feels like it's unique and synonymous to all Becky characters of lay down the traps, then hit the sub. It's very reticent of Goat Becky, right? Where you're just stealing health and hoping they break it. I don't know. It just feels like an observation I had about her.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the Beckys do have some similar setups. The Becky with the 2 bites here. See, this is going to be so much better. She's breaking a lot more of our gems. So now we're boosted 11 times up. That's more what I expect to see. That's more in line with what I commonly see, I should say. And we got a good hit there, and we got a good hit here. So this is much, there it is, 106 million that time. But look at that range, man. 50 million or 106 million, and it was the exact same moveset, exact same trainers. So, I mean, that does show the range right there. 106 versus 50 million. That's a big swing. Big swing. So yeah, I mean, I could run it a dozen times and every time it'll be between 50 and 100, but sometimes it's 70, sometimes it's 60, sometimes it's 90. It just really depends on how much they break. But are you going to be upset if you hit 50 million with Zombie Becky? Would that make you go, "Oh, dang, man, that was terrible"?
I mean, those are the numbers we're reaching for with Liv, right? For the previous power ranking we did. So,
Right?
It makes sense to me, right? That acrobats would do a lot more damage than powerhouses. Like, that totally makes sense to me.
Yeah. How is that? Shouldn't the powerhouse be the ones that was 81 million?
Oh, you're right, Lee. Lee, you're totally right. That's a great observation. Thank you.
Oh, you were waiting for me to
correction.
give you that. Nice. That was clutch. I appreciate that. I was trolling you hard on the podcast about Goldberg, so you get to troll me on this one.
No, I mean, just it's crazy to me that female acrobat is like the best female category.
Oh, yeah.
And they consistently do exceedingly more damage than a powerhouse, who one would think is a house of power.
One would think that they are a house of power. I do agree, and I do love that. Oh, yes. Well, she definitely is more of a powerhouse than zombie powerhouse Liv. I'll tell you that much. So what does that say? But I do want to show you one quick trainer variation, although I don't know if I can get there quickly because every character on this account is the exact same strength and speed. But mine, on my own personal account, hits easily for this range of damage without question mark. And I don't have Tori. So what I do on mine is run Dude Love and Santa Hogan. So it's still going to get you started loaded turn 1. Much more common trainer set here, though. In fact, there's not a rare trainer at all, just so that we're fair to her versatility score. In fact, we're nerfing her gear. So the most rare thing on this is the ultimate plate. You know, that's probably the most rare thing now, and she's still gonna hit, mine consistently is 70 to 90 million even without Tori. So and I do have her max 6 gold on my account, samey. I don't have gear, do have the moment, etc. So I can be pretty consistent with that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, that's really good. I think as far as readiness, her and Liv, I'm going to keep bringing up Liv, right? Because we're trying to do kind of a comparison or a battle, a head to head.
Right.
They feel sort of samey there on readiness, and yet Becky is able to do a little bit more with what she's got right out of the box. Becky's gear is really cool, but it's also one of the most expensive things on the midweek prize wall. So for you to say that it's not essential, I think that should come as a relief to most of the community who might be feeling a sense of FOMO for not maybe being able to be on pace to get that gear this month.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be, I don't think I'll get it. I want it. I want it really bad on there.
Hmm.
But with the gear, I mean, again, she easily hits the numbers we need her to hit. So we don't even necessarily have to show it. With the gear, you don't need any MP trainers. You
Right.
could run
Well,
all black MP damage, all trap gem damage, all multiply gem damage, whatever you want to buff it up from there. So,
yeah.
yeah, so that's a good one. Well, for the power rating on this, the power score within the power rating, that is, she easily hits over 60 million. Granted, she did hit 50 million one of the times in there, so I put the range. She hit between 50 and
Oh man,
106 consistently.
totally inconsistent. Can you
So
tell
that's
my
a
bias
five.
is showing? I'm Team
Right.
Live.
Team Live. Yeah. For speed, 6 MP charge on all three of her moves. So I'm sorry. For speed, for a 5, at least two of the following are true. MP charge is equal to or lesser than 6 MP. That's true. Moves recycle flawlessly. That's true. Animations are quick. That's true. Win in under 45 seconds. I tried kind of keeping track on there, but all of those matches that I did, I just won, and I was under 45 seconds with them. Now, if she gets a bad cascade, if somebody has the ability to break your sub, which is now becoming common with the new zombie characters, that is going to change. But again, we're not accounting for those special situations. Bob says for me, she gets a 4 in speed. That sub just takes too long. Yeah, I mean, again, do we need to time it? I mean, I don't want to be unfair on that category. Would that make the most sense?
um,
I think we should. I don't want to open stopwatch. I don't want to be unfair. I mean, absolutely. If Bob is right, and he very often is, I don't want to be unfair to that. So let me let me time this real quick.
yeah, we'll just talk about the Miami Dolphins football team while you time that.
What's the
Um,
Dolphins team? All right, so let me
I
start
I just
stopwatch. Go.
and you're running it.
I'm running it. Yeah, we're
All
at 5
right.
seconds right now. And I'm not unfairly clicking too fast or anything like that. I'm just clicking where it goes.
I'm curious if anybody in the chat likes if they have a favorite NFL team. Would you type it in the chat? I have no clue who our community likes, and I'd love to know. Like, there's one team or there's one SN. Is it SN? Is that still what we say? Screen name?
Screen name?
Vikes are playoff bound, and like that's like wow,
36
proud
seconds.
proud Viking fan. Look at that. Vikings, Texans, Chief, Dubbers. Panthers. Oof, oof. That's a resilient person. All right, well, back to you, Lee. Did it beat the 45-second
It
countdown?
did. It was 35 seconds. I'm sorry,
Nice.
39 seconds, .44, but that was, I clocked it at 36 when I said the
All
words.
right.
So it took me a sec to hit. So 36 seconds or less. That is right in with the lineup. So she's a 5 on speed.
Okay.
But here's where we get into the other side. So
Yeah.
versatility and readiness. For readiness, character to get a 5 needs to have 0 or 1 special thing. That's a plate, a gear, a moment. She does have the moment on. Or a rare trainer to make them work well. For a 4, character needs 2 special things: plate, gear, moment, rare trainer. For a 3, character needs 3 special things. And for a 2, character needs 4 special things. Back to you, and you started something in the chat here.
This is awesome. We are talking about the foosball. like Captain Insano. That's where it all meets together. I'm getting a versatility a versatility poll ready, but I'm shook right now at how many Dolphins fans are out there. I thought I was alone. I'm kind of a new Dolphins fan, but write in your number. Versatility polls live. You have 1 minute to vote. Lightning poll. And Lee, I grew up a Houston Oilers fan. That's why I don't have a team, or that's why the Dolphins are kind of my new team, because I was a man without a team for years and years when the Oilers left me high and dry. So,
wow.
Yeah. Let's see if you got the votes. Fours abound. If you want to vote something other than 4, get it in, because 4s are running away, and that's okay. Vote what you think is fair and correct. But I grew up in the Warren Moon era, and I love the old Oilers. But
all I've got to say is laces out, Dan. That's
right?
The only thing I can say.
The Ace Ventura callback for the Dolphins is so funny. Right. But Dan Marino has a house. It's not his primary residence, but he has a house about 30 miles away from me on the coast.
Dan Marino should get gonorrhea and die. No, I'm just kidding. That was in the movie.
His house is on the same street as President Joe Biden's oceanfront residence. So
really
interesting facts. The 4s have it. 76% of the chat locks in a 4.
Yep, and it's overwhelming on Discord as well. And the funny thing is, as we're sitting here talking on Discord, people are voting on Twitch, and they're also voting on Discord as we speak. I'm watching the numbers fly and change. So I like.
Are they writing their NFL team on Discord as well?
They're not, but you never know. They might start that as well. All right. For the next category, we got versatility. Characters competitively usable for a 5 in feud, boss, and showdown. And character has a special gem type that helps in Extreme Rules. Every character that's come out in the last year has a special gem type, so you're good there. For a 4, characters competitively usable in at least 2 modes, feud, boss, or showdown, some combination there, and still has to have a special gem type for Gemmania and Extreme Rules. For a 3, characters competitively usable in 1 mode, feud, boss, or showdown, but may be a sleeper for boss. And for a 2, characters not strong in any competitive format, but may be capable winning of tours and blitzes. Rusty, back to you.
Is this versatility?
This is versatility, yes.
I think I wrote versatility under the last poll, but I knew we were voting readiness. So I hope there's no confusion. This football chat has really thrown me for a tizzy tonight. So this is the versatility poll, friends. Lock in your votes. I think you knew what was happening already, but
I prompted
for readiness as the last category. I asked if there were any Dallas Cowboys in the chat, and it's like the opportunity just to roast the Cowboys. Hilarious.
I saw the Callous Doughboys in there a lot. I don't know what.
Lee is in Denver, but he's not a Broncos fan. He's lived in the Broncos territory his whole life, and he is not a Bronco fan.
Not when I lived in Ohio or Oklahoma, but still.
Versatility, friends. The 4s are leading slightly. Why would you not want to use Becky in every category, Lee?
Well, I mean, again, if you have gear, that might be where that plays into it. You could use her across the board. Black gems are going to be great for boss battle. I use her in feud all the time. I love her. Again, she's my favorite. I said this when we did the Rhea video. Acro Rhea is objectively going to have a higher power rating, I believe, but I prefer Becky. I really, really prefer Becky. But I could see others not using her in certain categories. Sure. And so we've got a 4 on Twitch. On Discord, we are split. We have 7 votes for a 5, 6 votes for a 4, but we also have a vote on a 3 and a vote on a 2 as well.
The 4 would still have
we've got
it.
Somebody who put Rams.
Yeah, nice. So the 4s would still have it by a few votes over the 5s. Okay. I did the mental math as you said it. Yeah, and some of our avid feuder said, I wouldn't take Becky into a feud, but that's just me. I've got better
Right.
acros. So
Yeah. Well, I
interesting.
mean, I've got Indy.
Interesting.
I've got Indy plus gear. I've got Rhea. I've got
Okay, stay
Acro
humble.
Bianca.
Stay humble. Okay, Richie Rich. Nobody wants to watch you open your Christmas presents.
And I still like using Becky. I just like her gameplay. I really, really, really just like her game. And I know that's the opposite of what some others are saying here. Um, thank you, Richie Rich.
I
Oh,
love it when Macaulay Culkin's helicopter picks me up for Christmas morning to watch him open his presents on Twitch tonight.
wow. Wow. Oh, oh goodness. And if you watched the
We
last
have fun.
video or were on
We have fun.
stream half an hour ago, you know that
Yeah.
we've set a precedent with this type of coach. Green gyms do 30%, botch gyms do 60%. We said on the Sammy video it's a 4, on the Live video we've got to keep it consistent. So we've got to keep it consistent here again, so it's got to be a 4.
Yeah. Read hers? What does it do?
Green gyms and botch gyms. Green
Oh,
gyms
okay.
30%,
All right.
botch gyms 60%. But it's again,
Nice.
it's the same Z for
Right.
that one. So
Yeah.
10, 14, 18, 22. 22. So she edges
Oh,
out Zombie Live by 1 point.
oh, oh. I
Oh,
demand a recount. Yeah, no, this was good. I think you're right. I mean, and Becky can be upgraded to at least my take as someone who doesn't have her. It looks like Becky can be upgraded even further than Liv can. Becky actually benefits from the moment. Becky has gear. Becky does, pretty substantial gym damage, right? With multi types of gyms. So, yeah, I think Becky's a pretty clear choice. At least it's head to head. I
right.
have Liv. I love Liv. Liv's my best powerhouse. Becky, I don't know. I don't know if she would be my best acro.
Yep.
So it's a really interesting conundrum, right? And I wonder if those of you watching this video, either in the chat or on YouTube later, if you have neither Becky nor Liv, write in the comments which one would you pick if you were tonight's winner of the giveaway. Which one would you pick? I would love to know. I just would love to
Right.
know what the community would pick.
Yeah, I've thought about that, Merrick's. We're having a really interesting conversation in the chat here. So, Two Bob said, here's the thing. What do you feel about Indy being exact same rating as Becky? Because if you look, Indy's a 22 out of 25. Becky's a 22 out of 5. Rhea's a 24. So she's going to go right here in the same box as Indy. And a big part of that, look at Indy, power 5, speed 5, readiness 4, versatility 5, entourage 3. So entourage tanked her a little more. Although, I mean, Becky only has 1 more point on entourage than Indy does. So, I mean, that's not a huge variance there. And Merrick said, okay, so what if we were to give a score that's just the pure fighter score, and then the overall score? So overall, character is whatever out of 25, and then the fighter score is the top 4 categories. So minus entourage.
Yeah, that's possible. We could actually write the score like 20 plus 5,
Yeah.
right? Or 18 plus 4. So then you see composite. You can do the math. Now here's where it gets a little muddy to me. Is one of the beauties of the power rating is that they show both short and long-term value.
Right.
There will come a day, if this game continues to thrive and flourish, there will come a day when OTC Roman is no longer relevant in a meta.
I mean, he's got multi-gyms for days. But yeah, keep going.
Just, whoever, pick a person. Pick
Right.
a person. Let's say Zombie Chelsea, right? Maybe that's too, I'm overstating, right? So Zombie Chelsea, there will come a day where she is considered essential entourage,
Right.
and no longer meta relevant, much like a Matt Hardy. Someday,
Yeah.
Sherry will fall into that category, right? So you have this interesting where we're trying to just gauge overall worth.
Right.
It's a little deceptive that the word power is in our power rating,
Right.
because really what we're trying to say is over holistic value of a superstar. So, I could see a case for that.
Yeah.
So,
No, I mean, I think that's.
I retracted my OTC comment. It's too fresh. Some people are like, I spent a lot. Do not speak ill of my Roman. So,
Oh, well, yeah. But you're right, and we've got the little category down here for discussion on longevity. We don't often do that as much, but I mean, this is where if we had power rated Becky and Liv 6 silver, Liv would have been a lot better, a lot higher, because she didn't scale as well the way her buff, the way her move set plays. Becky did. Once we get into 7-star meta, I think that Becky will take a hit where Indy will not, Rhea will not. And so you will see that reflecting once we get into the 7-star, especially, that Becky's shine starts to come off a little bit. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see kind of where things go. But yeah, I mean, if you just look samey, Becky and Indy are the exact same score. I think a good portion of the chat would argue Indy is better. And I personally argued that Indy should be pretty well tied with not Zombie Rhea, with Acro Rhea, but that's not the way the scores fell. And so, this gives you a good sense overall, and I love the interaction with Merrick's, with Tuba, with others in the chat here who are discussing why the power rating system works like this. So
with Baby and Bunders, there's been some great chat happening tonight. Al Pacino, who else did I see? Festabomb, Platinum Patrick, so many great takes in the chat tonight. Dylan the villain going at it. I love it.
Yeah, so many. And that's why we call this Enter the Chat, because this is not meant to be the end of the conversation. This is meant to start the conversation. So
it's true. It's the name of our show. If you didn't realize that, we named our Friday night stream Enter the Chat, hoping you would.
Would we ever do, Hip Designer, would we ever do a stream with Tubob, Merrick's, and Festabomb? Yes. I as far as I understand, I'm always willing to have guests on. As far as I understand the rules that we live under, though, I don't know that we can have non-official CCs on the official without permission. But
on our channel, all things are possible, right? Yeah. On our channel, we could set up any kind of fun show like that.
Yeah.
They'd have to agree to come on. They'd have to agree to be on it.
We need to get Festabomb as a community spotlight, but we've had Tubob on the podcast, and we've had Merrick's on the podcast before, so yeah. All right. Well, Rusty, take us off for this video, and then we can hang out with our friends on the Twitch stream after.
Well, friends, there's been much ridicule. There's been much debate. There's been much consternation over these power ratings, which means we're having fun with them.
That's right.
I want to keep having fun with them. And we'd love for you to enter the chat on a Friday night. Come in and cast your vote and help us get it right. If you watch these videos and you think these guys got it wrong, well, it's because we have 70 plus people on with us, casting votes and letting their voice be heard. So don't miss out. Let's get you in the chat too, and you can help us dial it in and get it right. All that to say, we do this for you. We're part of the community. We love the community, and I can't imagine us doing anything else on a Friday night. I was doing dishes before stream. This is so much better, right? So we'll see you next time, friends.
Bye.